remarks on how to produce byproducts without compromising the environmental health and namely using environment friendly equipment and technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that our knowledge and contribution to achieve the SDGs will not stop here. The Ministry of Cooperative and SMSC, Small and Medium Enterprise, will continue collaborating to provide a broad and sustainable impact, and also will the younger generation as agent of change who play a crucial role in developing the progress. Once again, we appreciate the UI SDG Summit 2024 and hope that many similar discussions and collaboration will be held to inspire and educate the wider community. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Iza, for the inspiring remark.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just heard inspiring opening remarks from the project officer of UI SDG Summit, the chairman of BEM UI, and the expert staff of the Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs of the Republic of Indonesia.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. It's time for the official opening of the UI SDG Summit 2024.
To Mr. Reza Shabana Santoso, as the project officer of UI SDG Summit 2024, we invite you to the stage to lead our official opening.
And to all honorable guests, we kindly invite you to the stage to officially open this event.
Thank you for officially opening the summit. With this, the UI SDG Summit 2024 is officially open. Let's give it another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, UI SDG Summit is an international flagship program organized by BEM Universitas Indonesia 2024. This program aims to enhance public awareness and knowledge of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), particularly among students.
Participants from various countries around the world are able to engage in the variety of events we organize. We have 7 programs, including roadshow, grand opening, workshop, grand summit, panel presentation, conference, and award dinner.
UI SDG Summit implements 3 values, which are professionalism, collaborative, and belongings. And this year, UI SDG Summit presents the grand theme, Bridging the Implementation Gap, ensuring no one's left behind in achieving the SDGs with 3 sub-themes.
First, breaking the chains of poverty, access to quality education for marginalized groups. Second, towards net zero emission, real action to combat the climate crisis. Third, empowering the workforce, bridging employment disparities to combat socioeconomic inequality.
The timeline for the UI SDG Summit begins with the grand opening on September 26, 2024. This will be followed by a workshop on September 28.
And for the grand summit of UI SDG Summit will take place on November 20, followed by a final presentation on November 22, and on November 23, we'll wrap up the activities with a conference and awarding night. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pungkas Bajuri Ali STP MS PhD has prepared a special video speech for us.
Before proceeding, let us introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Pungkas Bajuri Ali STP MS PhD, as the head of National Secretariat for Sustainable Development.
Mr. Pungkas Bajuri Ali STP MS PhD was the advisor to the Minister on Social Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
Mr. Pungkas was also the Director for Health and Community Nutrition at the Ministry of National Development Planning, Bappenas.
Mr. Pungkas had 20 years of work experience in public health and nutrition.
state policies, including national development plans, annual government strategies, health budget assessments, and policy evaluation.
Mr. Pungkas obtained a PhD degree on philosophy, focusing on study of population and demography at the Australian National University.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's watch the video from Mr. Pungkas Bajuni Ali SFI MS PhD.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's a pleasure for me to speak before you on University of Indonesia SDG Summit 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, speakers and guests, first of all, let us praise and thanks to the presence of God Almighty for His blessings and gift. So we can gather today at the University of Indonesia SDG Summit 2024. It is a pleasure to meet you and to connect with you all. I am honored to share about tracking SDGs progress. Are we on track? The summit serves as an important moment for us to reflect on the progress, especially in the current challenging circumstances surrounding the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Let me share with you some of my presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our journey toward the 2030 targets, it is crucial that we evaluate the path, address the gaps, and reaffirm our commitment to creating a more sustainable and equitable future for all. The world today is reflecting on achievements of the SDGs, and as you can see from the exhibition here, only 70% of the targets are actually on track. According to the global aggregate data, and a recent UN report highlights that SDG achievements in Asia-Pacific regions is estimated to be delayed by 32 years if no transformative efforts are made. Looking at the average SDG index score from the UNSDSL report, the pace of SDG progress varies significantly across different country groups. European countries, notably the Nordic countries, continue to lead the way in the SDG achievements, while rich nations, Brazil, the Russian Federation, India, China, and South Africa, have made notable progress. It's unfortunate that poor and vulnerable nations are lagging far behind in reaching their goals. One of the key challenges highlighted globally is the unequal distributions of resources and the widening gap between the countries that are progressing and those that are struggling. The disparity is further compounded by climate change, economic instability, and social inequality. Without transformative actions, achieving 2030 targets will remain out of reach for many nations. On the national level, the progress is quite encouraging. Of the 224 indicators, 62% have met their targets or shown significant progress compared to the SDGs National Action Plan. The remaining indicators are still progressing and require special attention. These achievements reflect the collective efforts of all stakeholders as our country remains highly committed to advancing the SDGs. Bapenas serves as the national coordinator for SDGs as mandated by Presidential Regulations Number 111 of 2022. Many acceleration strategies have been implemented to ensure continued progress across all sectors. Key efforts including integrating SDGs into national and provincial midterm plan documents. The localizations of the SDGs is further reinforced by the provincial action plans and voluntary local reviews of VLR. SDGs best practices are expected to be replicated, while the Indonesia SDG Action Award highlights exemplary stakeholders. To bridge the SDG financing gap, the government has introduced innovative funding mechanisms such as the SDG Financing Hub and SDGs Bond. Ladies and gentlemen, the ambitious targets of SDGs can only be achieved through partnerships and strengthened through the role of the four participations platforms. The partnerships principles that are built are trusting each other, respecting each other, being mutually open, and feeling each other. The SDGs platform consists of collaborations between governments and parliaments, philanthropy, and private sectors, academia, university, and experts, as well as NGOs and media. Universities play a crucial role by internalizing the SDGs into the three pillars of higher education, i.e. research, education, and community services. The SDGs also serve as a reference for the time higher education's impact ranking, making them an integral part of the campus activities. Currently, there are 54 SDG centers across Indonesia, which are expected to support local governments and stakeholders in accelerating SDG implementations at the local level. The SDGs Center Networks has been launched to work collaboratively, fostering partnerships and knowledge sharing to enhance SDG progress. As an element, the power of youth presents a significant opportunity given the immense potential they hold. In Indonesia, the youth population is approximately 64.9 million. Gen Z represents 27.9% of the total population. However, when considering educational attainment, it's only 10.15% of Indonesian population has completed their educations up to the university level. The statistics indicates the highest level of education achieved by individual aged 15 and older. Despite these challenges, youth are more than just development targets. They are essential collaborators and agents of change. Young people possess the energy, creativity, and determinations needed to drive progress. There are countless ways that young people can contribute to development initiative, from advocacy to innovations. Ladies and gentlemen, students, and respected academics, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciations for the tremendous efforts of my fellow students in organizing this University of Indonesia SDG Summit. This event serves as a remarkable example of collaborative actions. I encourage all of you, the brightest young minds from across the country, to take concrete steps as we move forward. It's essential to remember that not everyone has the opportunity to pursue higher education, placing a significant responsibility on us as educated individuals. Together, let us strive to develop our nations and work toward achieving the SDG target for 2030. This is our commitment to fostering a sustainable future and ensuring a better quality of life for the next generations. Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let me introduce our moderator for the next agenda, Ms. Salma Nurfitria Ningrum.
Ms. Salma Nurfitrianingrum is an undergraduate public administration student at the Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Indonesia. Duta Universitas Indonesia 2024.
Ms. Salma is also the founder and president of Trinity Indonesia, key opinion leader at Students XCO Jakarta 2024 and ambassador of Students Catalyst 2023.
Without further ado, please welcome Ms. Salma Nurfitria. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Amit and Gani. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to see you all here and welcome to the seminar session of the grand opening of UI SDGs Summit 2024. Before we begin, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Salma Nurfitria, and it is really my pleasure to be the moderator for this session. This session will be divided into 3 parts. The first one will be the presentation session. The second one will be the talk show session. And the last one will be the question and answer session. Now, may I introduce you to our first speaker, Mr. Akmal Abudiman. Mr. Akmal Abudiman is the head of Corporate Secretary, Investor Relations, and Sustainability at PT Perusahaan Auto Finance. Currently, he is also continuing his master class in Sustainable Finance at Oxford University. In recognition of his exceptional performance in the SDG Academy program, Mr. Akmal was honored with the title of the Most Valuable Project and the Most Resilient Leader. And in here, Mr. Akmal will be discussing about the economic growth in the context of governance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Akmal Abudiman.
Takes me 10 minutes just standing here, so I just hand mic. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Fine. Tapi lemas gitu. Okay, so everyone, before I start, so I just like 15 minutes, but could you stand up, please, everyone? Let's make it. Don't make it sense. Just make it fun, alright? And thank you very much. So if I say morning, you may clap once, and then when I say afternoon, you may clap twice. Then evening, you may clap 3 times. Then when I say sleep, then be quiet. Ready? Okay, let's try it. Be concentrated. Morning. Evening. Yeah, that's okay. Morning. Afternoon. Evening. afternoon, morning, sleep. I just heard one. Let's go. Morning, evening, morning, sleep. Okay, please be busy. Thank you very much. So, okay, so it's a pleasure for me to stand in front of you here. I'd like to present. So, is it connected? Okay, so actually I prepared one video, but unfortunately it is technical error, so we couldn't play it at the time. So I just tried to improve the way I entering this theme, because when we're talking about the SDGs, it's just like the hardest or the challenge part to bring, especially in the afternoon. So when you see the slide, we see about one of the survey or the report from the World Economic Forum. It is released annually, so you may access freely in the website. So World Economic Forum released one of the report about the climate, about the risks facing in global. And if you see, the green ones refer to the environmental side, while the blue one refers to the social. Yellow, if you see, yellow or orange refer to the technology, and the purple one is purple one technology, and the orange is geopolitical. So if you see this, the global risk landscape, we are currently facing the most environmental risks, and for the next 10 years, here there will be climate-related risk issues coming. So what I need to involve this one, we're not talking about the global warming. Global warming is already done. Now we are entering the global warming. Yeah? Panas. Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today, about the SDGs and the national SDGs. But I will showing this one because it is not actually, it is really serious problem that we need to face together. Okay? Then, I couldn't click it. Could you, next slide? Okay, so driving impact above journey toward achieving SDGs. So, I would like to share some of you that what we have done. What we have done in terms of the way we approach to have and in contributing SDGs to achieve by 2030. Next, please. Okay, I don't want to explain it once. I don't want to explain the one from the 17 to the target, to the 160 target, but I'd like to emphasize that the role of the stakeholders play a vital role, especially for the private sector. And today, I'd like to position myself as a private sector in relation to implementing or to help supporting SDGs, especially in Indonesia side. Okay. Next, please. Okay. As mentioned by Papnas, this is the report. We are just 17% in the global one, while in Indonesia side we are 90% coverage. But the next question is there the successor of SDGs after by 2030, or do we need to achieve that one? So that's a question that must be asked by ourselves. So this is the report coming from the United Nations. And if we see SDG, quality education, and poverty might be the one that achievable from this target. Next, I couldn't operate the one. Okay, so could you just click it? Back. No. Next. It must be there's something wrong in this slide. So this slide showing. So after we're talking about the SDGs, then we're talking from the government side and then private sector. In the private sector, especially from BUF, is one of the multi-finance companies. So we are playing a vital role for implementing this one. And starting from 2015, after releasing from the SDGs, OJK, Indonesia Financial Services Authority, also released one of the OJK regulation, commending for the, especially for the issuer and public listed companies. And one of the OJK regulation is was to continue the SDGs, especially in the private sector, in financial service industry. So if you see the journey from 2017 and then going to 2018, after releasing the new regulation, so their regulation actually stated that the public listed companies or financial services must align with the sustainable finance principle. So what is the sustainable finance principle? Sustainable finance principle is aligning with the ESG. Did you heard about the ESG, right? Environmental, social, and governance. So this is like the framework in relation with the SDGs. So the financial service sector must apply ESG approaching to their business operational. And this is the journey from the financial side. And what's after us? So now 2022 and then 2022 and now 2025 we OJK had so many regulations were already issued related with to support the implementation of SDG in financial service sector. So after OJK 21st, currently this year they issue 2 guidelines. The first one is green taxonomy. So in all taxonomy berkelanjutan Indonesia. So this guideline must be applied, and then currently still piloting for the banks, especially for the banks for buku 4, and then maybe follow after that from the other bank and non-bank financial institutions. And they also released one of the climate risk assessment. So those initiatives is try to enhance the implementation of sustainable finance, especially in financial services. Okay, next. And above, we are one of the leading multi-finance company in Indonesia, owned by Mitsui Ltd. And we have been like 27 years trying to make a financing disbursement. So from the motorcycle financing until the MSME financing. So this is one of the financial services. So we try to approach to continue to support the SDGs. So which part? Could you next please? This one. So the first step that we have been established is the framework. So we need to establish the framework first, especially in the private sector. So the framework helps us to guide how we contribute to the SDGs. So if you see, guys, why there's a mission, vision, and values? Because we need to align with the vision, mission, and values. So let us be standalone. So they will be aligned with the vision, mission, and values. Then after that, we try to sustain. So there will be some SDGs if you see this, and the government is the last slide. So if you see the topic, so I call it materiality topic. So the most impact, there are 6 materiality topics. So materiality topic comes from the stakeholder engagement. So we conducted stakeholder engagement across our stakeholders, including investors, our shareholders, communities, and all. So we built this one. So there's the customer privacy, anti-fraud, and then health and safety, technical and education. So this is one of the framework that we established. So we need to collaborate. What is the most impactful issues they think impact the companies? Okay, next. So this is the journey. So when we see this one starting from 2020, the initial base, so we established dashboard. So currently, if you see for the public listed company, they already issued sustainability report, other than annual report. So sustainability report reflects their performance in terms of ESG. Okay, and it just started from 2020, and then currently we're coming through implementation. So not only for the sustainability report, we also established the Sustainable Finance Action Plan. Sustainable Finance Action Plan. It's just like rencana bisnis tahunan. Okay, and next. And okay, due to from the economic side, so this is one of the I like to highlight from the economic aspect. So we are talking SDGs, we are talking 4 pillars: economic, governance, social. Yeah, and if you see this one, we value beyond profit actually. So we're financing 2. So OJK classifying sustainable finance activity into 12 categories, and we contributed to. The first one is the MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises. So we're financing more than 30-50% out of our portfolio. And then we also try to finance it for green transportation, especially for the EV, and then hybrid transportation, because we're talking about the net zero. So that's one of coming. Okay. And then if you see the left side, there's community development. Community development, so we call it extra agent. So they're actually coming from the community. They help us to sell, and then they got benefit from us. So this one, and then the gender wise, male and female. And the customer itself. So this is from the economic side. And from the next, governance. It is the most important things, as I said. So we established Sustainable Finance Task Force. So Sustainable Finance Task Force is responsible for what? Responsible to achieving, to aligning with all these values, aligning with the SDGs related indicator. So this one, and especially in financial services sector, we are dealing with some of the issue regarding the anti-fraud. Yeah, because we are talking about the transparency, accountability, and so on. So that's one of the key issues that we need to address, other than many issues. And what else? Next. Okay, this was the sort of activity that we conduct. So awareness is the first priority. We don't expect anything to try to innovate how we prevent the fraud, but the first one is going to be awareness, raising awareness. I think this is the same with the SDGs. Don't expect to achieve the SDGs without anyone who understand about the SDGs itself. So next, from the social side, the community development. So we call it caring for children, because we concentrate on the, especially for the SDG 1 and SDG quality education. So more than 80 beneficiaries receiving this one from the Secretariat Science Faculty and the United Program, and this contributing from the SDG quality education, and many more actually. So I think I will still have some slide, but due to the limited time, so I will discuss once we do talk show session. But maybe I would like to highlight one is before going to do we need to have optimism to achieve the SDG in 2030 is the first one is the awareness from us within ourselves. What have we done in terms of personal, organization, and even in our position in organization. So I think the end session, and I will give it to moderator. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akmal, for the presentation. You may get back to your seat. Okay, since the second guest speaker hasn't been here, so now we move on to our third guest speaker. Now, may I introduce you to our third guest speaker, Ms. Yesenia Real Chico. Mrs. Yesenia Real Chico is the student collaborator, sustainability consultant at the Green Office, University of Milan. She is also an environmental technician at an environmental consulting firm called Solutiones Ambientales Totales. And at the same time, she is continuing her master's degree in environmental change and global sustainability at the University of Milan. Mrs. Jesenia will be discussing about the climate action that is aligning with her experience in sustainability and environmental management. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that Miss Jesenia is here with us, please welcome Miss Jesenia Real Chico. Okay, for the committee, please. Hello, Miss. Miss Jesenia, I'm so sorry that your voice is not. Sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. We may wait for Miss Jesenia.
Can you hear the host?
We can hear you.
Hello, Miss.
Hello?
Yes, okay, your voice is clear. You may start now.
Can you hear me very well?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Well, we are going to talk about sustainable development goals focused on climate action. So, moving forward, let's see. Okay. You can see the screen, right? Can you see it? The slides?
Yes.
Ah, okay, good. Okay, so as we talk about climate change, it's a real and undeniable threat to our entire civilization. And so as the Earth's tipping point, we have like, well, where are we? So the world will exceed 1.5 Celsius degree by 2035 and faces a 2.5 Celsius degrees warming by 2100. So what we need like a deep, rapid and sustained greenhouse gases emission reductions by 43% by 2030 and to net zero by 2050. So we know that the rate of sea level rise has doubled in the last decade, and we also have seen that there are highly vulnerable regions experience higher mortality rates from disaster around the world compared to very low vulnerability regions. So we are facing threats like wildfires, floods, ice melting, etc. So, what is the current worldwide implementation? The climate action has some targets. So the first one, which is related to the strengthened resilience and adaptive capacity to climate related to disaster, we have that the number of disaster-related to deaths and missing persons has nearly held from 1.62 in the decade of 2005 and 2014 to 0.82 in 2013 and 2022. Also, the last year, 129 countries report the adoption and implementation of national disaster risk reduction strategies, increasing from 55 countries in 2015. So, next one is the target related to the integrated climate change measures into policy. policies and planning, we have the year of 2023 broke every single climate indicator and was the warmest year on record according to the World Meteorological Organization with 1.45 Celsius degrees. And also carbon dioxide levels are 150% above pre-industrial levels. About the target related to build knowledge and capacity to make climate change, a study in 2023 shows that grades related with science and social science subject curricula found that 69% contain no reference about climate change, and also there are 63% made no mention about sustainability. So, but what we have, 3/4 of countries report that they have plans to revise their curricula in the next 3 years. And finally, related to the implement the International Framework Convention on Climate Change, we have the climate finance reported by an expert first and support provided to developing countries has increased at a compound rate of 5% from 2015 to 2020, amounting to $41 billion. Next one, I have a question for you guys. According with this image between Sweden and Ecuador, which is where I come from, what are the disparities in climate resilience and response capacity between countries with good sustainable development goals achievement versus poor sustainable development goals achievement? Try to think like some seconds about it, and then I'm going to the next slide in order to explain it better.
Okay, does anyone wants to answer? Yes, please. Anyone?
Some ideas.
Just answer it. Don't be shy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss. I think everyone
Don't worry.
is still shy.
They're shy, don't worry. Okay. We have this slide in which we have 4 aspects. The first one is about infrastructure and technology, and for good sustainable development goals achievement countries which have advanced system for flood defense and transport network resilience. Also, these countries have early warning system to predict and mitigate disasters, like wildfire monitoring, and also green technology, like as wind, solar, and hydroenergy. In comparison with poor sustainable development goals achievement for example, like countries which depend from fossil fuels in order to get energy. So that would be an example. Also, we have economic capacity, in which countries with good sustainable development goals achievement, these countries have stronger economies, allowing substantial investments. Also, we have climate finance and climate insurance in order to protect citizens and industries. And for poor SDGs achievement, we have countries with high debt, also reliance on external aid, and vulnerable industries as agriculture and fishing. Then we have policy and governance, in which countries with good SDGs, they have comprehensive climate policies as net zero or carbon pricing. Also, strong governance and public awareness, which is they have focus on education, incentive, and also community projects. And then for countries with poor SDGs, we have weak governance as political instability or corruption, and also fragmented policies, low public awareness. And finally, for social and environmental vulnerability, for countries with good sustainable development goals achievements, they have lower vulnerability because sometimes populations are less exposed to the net impacts, and also they have a strong social safety nets in order to help citizens, and also they have minimal internal displacement in comparison with countries with poor SDGs achievements, in which the vulnerability is high and populations are more exposed to the risks like floods, droughts, and also heat waves. Also, they have weak social safety nets leading to poverty traps, and also there is the rising levels of displacement due to environmental changes, which is equal to social political changes. So then we have impacts of Millennium Sustainable Development Goal implementation, in which I found a paper in which you can see how in the north part the high-income countries are facing trade-off between eco-environmental protection and other goals, and you can see that the risk is higher in part of Africa, also South America, and Asia. So what are the challenges? We have health risk caused by air pollution, extreme heat waves, waterborne disease rise, etc. Also ecosystem destruction, forestation and habitat loss in terrestrial and marine ecosystem, increasing the challenges related to biodiversity conservation. Also social inequality, which means significant economic losses due to their reliance on climate sensitive sectors like agriculture, fishing and tourism, and overestimations in which many countries with high average sustainable development goals performance also showcase stagnation or even a retrogression in progress illness, which is partly ascribed to the antagonism between climate actions and other goals. So also, I want to talk about the international cooperation, why they are so important. We know that climate change knows no borders, and a failure in one region affects the entire world. So I have some of important aspects in which I want to point out some of them, which is the first one is technology transfer and capacity building, in which international partnerships provide access to green technologies and strengthen institutional capacity in vulnerable countries. Then we have climate finance, as for example, Green Climate Fund, in order to support developing countries to access to green technologies and strengthen institutional financing and climate adaptation and mitigation projects. Also, we have equity climate solution, in which cooperation ensures that the nation most affected by climate change, despite contributing the least to emissions, receive necessary support. Then we have global frameworks, for example, Paris Agreement and COP conference, in which they set global targets and foster accountability. Then we have cross-border solutions as regional and transnational collaborations in order to address shared climate challenges such as deforestation and water scarcity, and public-private partnership, which is very important in order to the engagement and global advocacy, accelerate green investments and promote sustainable practices worldwide. So I also want to share some of the initiatives that are going in Ecuador, in which the first one is the Yasuni ITT initiative, in which they are trying to protect the Yasuni National Park, which is one of the most biodiverse areas in the world, located in the Amazon. And the aim was to leave all fields untouched in exchange for financial compensation. And the goal was to avoid emission of tons of carbon dioxide. And then we have this program, which is reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, in which the goal is to reduce emissions from deforestation and promote conservation, enhancing forest carbon stocks, and also we have programs related to resilience in agricultural coastal areas, in which climate change poses a significant risk to agriculture, where livelihoods depends heavily on farming and fishing. And just to finish my presentation, I share with you this photo of the planet taken from NASA. And the context of this photo is because, like 1 month ago, someone asked me how can I change the world as a person who is studying environmental science, and for me that question was kind of difficult to answer because I have never made that question to myself. And I realized that the most important thing that I could do is use all the tools that I have, in which would be like educating the people, educate people, and also share my expertise in environmental science. And I consider that that's the most important thing that we can do. Use our voices in order to make a good impact in our community. So that's why when Maisha contacted me to be part of this incredible event, I said yes, because I consider that you guys are the future, your voices are the future. So you can see in this world how fragile we are in a vast universe. So it's about that. It's about to use your voice and to know that we are all together in order to make a change for the world. So thank you guys for the attention, and it's a pleasure to be here. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Stephanie Adarchino, for giving such an informative and comprehensive presentation related to climate action. And now, we move on to our second guest speaker, Ms. Natasha Gabriela. Ms. Natasha Gabriela is the head of sustainability at Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners Indonesia. She also received the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship and completed a 2-year joint master's program in industrial ecology at the University of Graz and Chalmers University of Technology. Her publication, titled The Better Refinery Transition in the European Pulp and Paper Industry, a 3-page Delphi study including a SWOT AHP analysis, reflect her expertise in the sustainability. And in here, Ms. Natasha will be discussing about the sustainable workforce aligning with her experience in sustainability and environmental alignment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Natasha Gabriela.
Thank you. Selamat siang. Good afternoon, everyone. Still awake? Need coffee? Need Coca-Cola? No, it's okay. Just checking. Thank you for the introduction. So in the next 15 minutes, I'll make it very quick and hopefully interesting for everyone here. Basically, how green jobs is actually the centerpiece if we talk about accelerating achievement of sustainable development goals. So, if the slide is up. Okay, while we're waiting, maybe just checking, has anyone ever heard about green jobs? Yes or no? Yes? Maybe can anyone share what they know about green jobs? I don't have any prize though, so just like patting your back, good job. Anyone wants to volunteer? Tadi yang bilang yes siapa? Who said yes before? Okay, now everyone is quiet. Well, now the slide is up, so you're safe. On the next slide. Next, please. So when we talk about SDG, where is actually Indonesia? So Indonesia, we are actually progressing. Although out of 100, maybe next before, out of the 166 countries, we're still around 70-ish rank, so we're in the median. And as you see here, you see only like 2 green signs. The rest are either orange, which is there is progress but very little, or like stagnant. Basically, we're just like walking on the same spots. What does it mean? Meaning then there needs to be much more effort if we really want to achieve the SDGs by 2030, because we're basically now in 2025. So 5 more years to achieve these global goals. What does it mean as well? On the next slide. So when it comes to SDGs, and as we all know about climate change, or maybe some of us even call it climate crisis, it's no longer about change. There is an interdependency. What does it mean? If we fail to achieve the SDGs, then climate crisis would become even worse. And then consequently, if the climate crisis is becoming even worse, then it's even harder to achieve the SDGs. So, for example, for Indonesia, we know we signed the Paris Agreement. We want to reduce our carbon emissions by 29%. And for now, we're actually increasing 2.3%. It's increasing. It's not even increasing. And then we are always scrutinized. Indonesia having so much forest, but there's also so many deforestation, forest fires, so on and so forth, which contributes significantly to the global carbon emissions. Looking as well from the social economic, because when you talk about sustainability, it's not only about environment, it's also about social and economy. So half of our population, they live in urban areas. And as we know, in urban areas, it's even harder to even have proper facilities, be it facilities for health, for education, for drinking water, for waste management, and else. What makes it even more interesting with the development of technology, especially if we look closer into AI, automation, we have to recognize there's actually a risk when it comes to getting jobs, right? So it's important to ensure, especially everyone here, the younger generation, the youth, to be involved, to foster the innovation, because innovation is required if you want to have a development that is sustainable. Next slide. So, why do I talk about youth? Because by 2030, at least 1.3 billion of the global populations will be made of the youth, the younger generations. And for Indonesia as well, especially for Indonesia, as we know, we're blessed with the demographic bonus. If you remember back in the elementary school, in the some sort of pyramids, it's always a bit thicker on the middle, because like the younger generation, or in the bahasa Indonesia, usia produktif itu that's the one that makes the most part of Indonesia populations, and therefore the sustainability progress relies on each of you and me as well. I'm still young, and it's even more challenging because, again, back to the climate crisis, there's this risk of sea level rise. For example, now in Jakarta, we're sinking, right? Because of the more extraction of groundwater, the fact that we are near the coastal areas with the climate change, extreme weathers, and then the sea level will rise even worse. So on the next slide. On the next slide. So when we marry between the needs for sustainable development and the fact that youth is actually the key to foster this sustainable development, then we have to also adapt with the changes that's required. And here, as you've seen in this illustration, the major transformation of the future workforce. We have to leverage the fact that automation or AI or technology in general should be able to help us achieve the sustainable development without jeopardizing the future workforce of us as humans. Like, for example, 50% 50% of all employees by now will need to refresh their skills development by next year, otherwise we cannot catch up. Or, for example, 65% of the students that are currently in elementary school now, they might not have job in the future, in 2030 or even beyond, if there is no these adaptations to technology. And that's why, on the next slide, we have to understand what are the trends when it comes to the transformation of jobs. Before I mentioned about the automation and AI, but then as you see now about the gig economy. What is gig economy? Basically, gig economy is economy that relies on like casual workforce. It's no longer about permanent employment, working in some sort of corporation from 9 to 5. The fact that there's so many, especially for Indonesia, many UMKM ya, atau small medium enterprises. So it's not a formal employment, so to say. And then last but not least is also about sustainability, because every job must be embedded with sustainability. Next. So that's why I asked before, has anyone known about green jobs? Because green jobs is really the key. It is crucial if we want to basically survive and thrive in, towards 2030 and actually beyond. So what is actually green jobs? Green jobs is actually any jobs that contribute to any environmental preservation, but also social and economic development. Again, it's not only about the environment, but also it's about the social and economy. So for example, it could be any work related to renewable energy, or related to the waste management, recycling, sustainable agriculture, and else. I'll have more of green jobs examples on the later slide. Next, please. So if I may put it in the context of circular economy, anyone heard of circular economy? No? Yes? Yeah? Sorry? Rotasi ekonomi, okay. Yeah, it's quite similar. Circular economy, that's the term that the government of Indonesia also used, for example, in Bappenas or the National Development Agency use. So it's circular economy, basically how we transform like the business as usual, where it's only about make, use, and dispose. We try to extend the lifetime of a product. How do we do it? So it's not only about waste management. We actually start from the beginning, even right from how we design our products. What do I mean by that? I'll tell you later from the case of Coca-Cola. Next. So yes, so us here at Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners Indonesia, or CCP Indonesia, we put sustainability at the heart of our business strategy, and therefore the operations of CCEP has actually generated hundreds of green jobs, if we put it in that context. So I will not go over these 6 pillars, but as you can see, this is how we make sure we create great beverages through great people that will be doing great execution, and it must be done sustainably. How do we do it? Is through these 6 pillars, including how we make sure we achieve net zero emissions by 2040, and also reducing the use of plastic packaging. Next. Next again. So yeah, here, as you can see, I think you need to click to let the animations out. But as you can see, for Coca-Cola, the employees comes from multi-generation, including like millennials and Gen Z. There's more than 200 employees are actually Gen Z. We even have a graduate training program just opened in June. So we hire like fresh graduates for any kind of positions across the functions. And then when it comes to green jobs, the fact that, for example, we install rooftop solar panel, and then like the coolers, Coca-Cola coolers, if you guys see the red signature coolers of Coca-Cola, now we invest in deploying now consume 50% less electricity compared to like the older version. We also have many social programs empowering UMKM or micro, small, medium enterprises, including also waste banks atau bank sampah. So we also work with the grassroots community on sustainability, and this is also how we provide green jobs also to the community. Next. So I hope everyone gets a better idea of what do we mean by green jobs, basically how we transform, for example, especially from corporates. Before we only talk about profit, it's about economic gain, but now it's actually about a balance between the ecology, the social, as well as the economic values. And last but not least, before, when it comes to a job, let's say to be an engineer, it's about having the skills of an engineer, but now with the sustainability, it has to be a multidisciplinary integration. You have to also understand the economical skills, you have to understand the social context, you have to know the regulatory challenges, so on and so forth. So the next slide, I have 3 minutes, which, tada, it's a long list, but I just want to call out, basically, maybe some of you, I used to have a perception that if I want to have a green jobs, or if I want to do some work in sustainability, I have to have a background in engineering. Actually, it's wrong. Because like for example here, if you're a psychology, you have a background in psychology, you might be like a clinical psychologist, but now with the rising demand on sustainability, you can actually to be an eco-psychologist. How you can understand like the human's behavior so that we can influence them, those that before they just throw their waste at any place, how we can create a concept that changes their behavior so they can segregate their waste so that there's more waste to be recycled and less pollutions coming to the sea and else. And for example, alcohol, maybe accounting actually. Before accounting, it's merely about, the balance, profit and loss, so on and so forth. Again, with the sustainability, as well as with the regulation from the Ministry of Finance that requires publicly listed company to do a sustainability report. Actually, many of those who have background in accounting now also do a transitions on sustainability, so they can also do sustainability reporting. So that's just a few examples of non-natural science background that can enter the green jobs market. Next. So this would be my last slide. I will not talk about the hard skills. I'm sure everyone here is even have stronger hard skills when it comes to sustainability, be it on the engineering, social science, economy, law, whatsoever. But what's important, and this is actually what AI might not be able to replace us as humans, is on the soft skills. Why? Because essentially when you have to do your work, you have to communicate. You have to understand what's my partner needs, what do the community needs, what do the customers need. That might be something that robot could not understand. For example, you have to also have collaborative problem solving, because it's always a work for a team. It's very rare that you do your job by your own. So because you have to have insights from many different perspectives. So again, this is something that might not be replaced by robots or AI. So all in all, what I would say is on the very, very final slide, the next one please. Building green jobs should be at the heart of accelerating sustainable development goals, because only by that then we can make sure the interventions is done across different dimensions, and this will allow Indonesia not only to achieve the sustainable development goals by 2030, but actually to also achieve the vision of Indonesia Emas by 2045. So I hope this becomes a very helpful and useful sharing for each of you, and happy to answer any questions if you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you may be quite sleepy or feeling bored right now, so let's refresh our minds a bit by playing a quick game called Guess the SDGs. On the screen, then you will see a logo representing one of the SDGs, and please raise your hand if you can identify which logo it represents. So, Kamini, please. Yep, this is the first one. Does any one of you know which SDG is this? Oh, okay, yeah. That person with orange shirt. Maybe you could come, yeah? Please state your name and the answer.
In my opinion, is point 2 of SDGs. This is in Indonesia is tanpa kelaparan.
Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, that's the correct answer. So the correct answer is zero hunger, the SDG number 2. Okay, next slide please. Okay, moving to the second. Is any one of you knows? Okay, yeah, sure, please. You can come into the front. It's okay, don't be shy.
It's number 13 of SDGs about climate action.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. Okay, is that correct? Let us see. Okay, yeah, that's the correct answer. It's SDG number 13, climate action. Okay. The last one, please. Okay. Oh, I see some of you raising your hands. Maybe you? Yeah.
Hello everyone. This one is no property. It's point 1 of the FGD. Is it correct? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please give a round of applause, everyone. And then, next slide, please. Okay, yeah, that's the correct answer. The correct answer is SDG number 1, no poverty. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, now that we have refreshed our minds a bit through ice-breaking session, it's time for us to have a talk show with our speakers. I would like to invite Mr. Akmal and Miss Natasha to join me on stage and Miss Jasenia on our video conferencing platform. Okay. Hello, Miss Natasha, and also Mr. Akmal, yes? Okay, I will start the first question with Miss Natasha. Miss Natasha, given the major transformation occurring in the world of work, and we know that it also comes with the risk of automation itself, how can we as a youth can prepare for the workforce to face challenges and seize opportunities?
Sure. I will dial back to what I've shared just now about the importance of having the soft skills, because I personally believe the human touch is something that any kind of automatizations, robotic AI could not replace. And therefore, I encourage everyone, especially if you want to enter like a green jobs market, to have that system thinking. So never look at any problem just like from one lens, like only from the environmental side or only from the economic side. You have to see it like at least from the 3 dimensions of environmental, social, and economy. And second is the importance of having communication skills as well as teamwork collaboration. And actually at university, it's like the golden moments because you have so many organizational activities, joining volunteering activities, being a committee of some events, that actually great opportunities to sharpen those skills of teamwork, communications, and collaboration. So I think I'll keep it at that 2 top skills.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Natasha. So we as students need to look at our collective minds, okay, and explore what kind of action solution that we can see. Okay, so moving on with Mr. Akmal. Mr. Akmal, this is kind of like fundamental question. I want to know, how do you define the SDGs itself and why they are very important for private sector?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, for me, and I think it must be adopted by financial services as well, that as this is not, I mean, this is beyond the framework to be achieved by the but I think this is one of the strategy to prove, it's time to prove the commitment at this beyond of GDP's profit and finance. So that's time to prove that the fire protection and then other things that must be aligned with the SDGs itself. So when you're talking about the SDGs, it is not only to be achieved by 2030, but it is the responsibility of the private sector, especially the companies and the financial services, to align with the ESG, as mentioned before, the environmental, social, and governance. And then forget, yeah, of course, the economy refers to the profit, and then the governance itself, and then the social. So, yeah, this is the important things for them, at least to be aware of.
So basically, for the private sector, we don't actually use SDG as the formal thing, right? But we kind of like reflect beyond the profit.
Yes, for sure. It must be embedded in their culture, in the special mission, and must be to evolve. Not only for the so we took kind of the poverty, non-poverty, hunger, and so on. But yeah, so it must be the heart of the company itself.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much, Mr. Akmal. So we move on to Ms. Jasenia. Ms. Jasenia, is our voice clear right here?
Yes, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, I want to ask Ms. Jasenia. So, Ms. Jasenia, from your perspective, what are the main disparities in the climate response capacity between the developed and developing countries, and how can international cooperation help to close this gap?
Well, the main disparities as I presented on my presentation, is in climate response capacity between developed and developing countries include difference in financial resources, access to technology, institutional strength, also infrastructure and vulnerability to climate impacts. Because vulnerability is different according to the regions, so developed nations generally have more resources in order to face this vulnerability. I believe that international cooperation can help to close this gap through climate finances in order to support green projects in developing countries, also capacity building for institutions and local communities, knowledge sharing of climate policies and best practices, and also the disaster relief and resilience efforts in order to help developing nations to manage climate risk. So I think these actions are critical in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal according to climate action for ensuring global climate resilience.
Right, okay, so basically the international cooperation help the big part of the collaboration and also helping to share the resources that the developing countries are the needs, right? Okay, so, yeah, sorry?
Not yet.
Okay.
Is it right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, back again with Miss Natasha. Miss Natasha, in efforts to achieve net zero emission itself, how can organization, or maybe you can actually answer this in a private sector section, balance the need for technological and innovation with workforce skills development itself? Like, what are the biggest challenges that we must face in this process?
Okay, so when it comes to achieving net zero emissions, how to make sure the technology development and deployment are actually in tandem with the human skills development. So it is not easy indeed, but what we are doing at Partners Indonesia or CCP Indonesia, we invest in both in parallel. So while we invest in technology, for example, I mentioned we have this rooftop solar panel installed in now already in 3 out of 8 our manufacturing facilities. We also invest in our team or our people itself, how we make sure they also have the knowledge transfer, so they know how to effectively and efficiently run this type of novel technologies accordingly. So that's one of the example. But from here, you can see that for technologies like renewable energy, unfortunately, we still have to rely from imported technologies because for the domestic industry, we're still at the pace that's not as fast as like those from Europe or other developed countries. And the implications, meaning the investment cost, is actually higher compared if we can procure this kind of technology from within Indonesia. But we make sure there's this component of knowledge transfer, be it from the technology provider to our own team, but also across or from day-to-day business. So that's why the functions of HR or people and culture in CCEP is crucial because they have to develop a framework as well as a staging process to make sure that each of the employees are developed in terms of hard skills, but also their soft skills according to their job requirements. So we can make sure this development of technology and human goes hand in hand.
So basically, the technological advancement is very important, but the advancements of the people is actually equally important.
Yes, correct. And investments must go through both streams.
Wow, nice. So it must go hand in hand. Okay, so Mr. Akmal, I want to know, like, in PT Perusahaan Auto Finance itself, how do you can measure the impact of your own initiative related to SDGs? Like, what key performance indicators that you use? You have any?
Okay, thank you. It's the KPI. First thing that we need to make sure is does our target. I mean, do our target already align with the midterm plan of the companies? These are the things. Because once aligned, it must be achievable. So when we make a target or KPIs, we just to ensure that it is not standalone on the company's midterm plan target. So that's why we need to align it first with the vision, mission, the goal going forward of the companies. So when we talk about the sustainability journey, sustainability target, it must be aligned with the corporate. So just to making a KPI, at least you're not making a huge KPI, just making a small that we need to ensure it must be achieved with the current baseline. So before going to ensure the KPIs, we need to make sure the historical before. I mean the baseline. From the baseline, they need to make a target, and then how we to ensure that target must be adapted with some strategies that align with the companies. So it must be reflected. And as mentioned earlier, that the sustainability report reflects the realization of the sustainability of the KPIs. For example, like the corporate social responsibility, where we're talking about the community development. So which one must be to be embedded as our target? It depends actually. So above, we always see it's not about the how much the budget we expend, but how many people impacted from our activity, such as our beneficiaries from that one, like the BAF Care for Children, how many students do we have, or BAF foster parents, and so on. So it must be achievable, just like the principle of SMART.
So basically aligning the target from the corporate and also the SDGs as a whole.
Yeah, because actually one of the biggest challenge actually is we always think that the SDGs or sustainability is always just like the new things. It is differentiate with the way we do in each day or daily operation. But I actually confirm that it is not differentiate. It's just like the new packaging that we need to try to measure, calculate. So once we already measure, we need to make improvement during the day, right? So yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akmal. Okay, that's it, guys, for Mr. Akmal. We move on to Ms. Jasenia. So, Ms. Jasenia, in your organization itself, can you share how your role as the student collaborator in University of Milan Green's office can contribute to exactly the advancement of the climate action itself? Like, what kind of specific initiative have you been involved to drive this process?
Well, the Green Office of the University of Milan has focuses on areas such as energy efficiency, mobility, waste management, green areas, society, and also food consumption. But this year, the office set the goal, which was work on society awareness, and in which we organized an event like this one, in where we gather experts, association, and also local community authorities, students, and from the university in order to reflect the best practices in sustainable cities. Also, we focus on mobility and also food reduce ecological footprint, and also Milan as a fashion city. We also focus on to be more sustainable fashion and responsible consumption. And we also have been involved as a student in socializing a project for the construction of a new campus in Milan, which highlights the use of green areas, not only to improve the aesthetics of the campus, but also to provide solutions to environmental problems, and also to focus on the student well-being. So how can we contribute directly to achieving the climate action goal is by lowering the university's carbon footprint, also educating the community, and trying to foster the culture of sustainability, because when we talk about sustainability, it's like a multidisciplinary field in which is involved researchers, political science, also economics and finance. It's like a whole team working on that. So yeah.
Wow, interesting. So basically the sustainability initiatives related to climate action has been done in your office, and it's not only for like the office itself, but also in daily basis, right? In the education section. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, Ms. Jasenia, to close your session in the talk show session, we as the youth want to know, like, what kind of advice would you give to us as young professionals and micro enterprises looking for contribute to SDG itself, especially with climate action, given the importance of climate action and in the global development efforts itself?
Well, my advice is to focus on collaboration. Every opportunity you have to collaborate with your community or with your university, try to take it in order to do some networking, also to find innovation and adaptability. So I think I think that maybe you could start small but think in a long term and trying to engage with communities, staying informed about the global trends also, and always aim to balance the social, economic, and environmental impacts to drive meaningful progress in climate action. So that would be my advice, trying to be involved in initiatives that they are developing, because education is key in order to reach the goal, and also try to promote it through community. That's my advice.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jasania. Noted. So basically, we as students need to like start small and having some initiative from what we have learned and actually from what we have been working on. Okay, so Mr. Ahmad, continue to you again. Okay, looking ahead, what trends do you foresee in the private sector itself approach to SDGs, and how can business prepare for them?
Okay, so, yeah, but before going there, just if I may ask questions for the audience here. So if I ask you one question that, because you're talking about the 17 SDGs, right? So has anyone can guess what the most prioritizing SDGs in the companies in Indonesia? Just guess. Unfortunately, I don't have any choice, so just volunteering. From the SDGs 1 to SDGs 17, the most prioritized SDGs in the companies in Indonesia. Can anyone guess?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, please. Number 8. Okay, thank you. Any else? Okay, thank you very much. One of the research that I opposed to some international and national research that one of the yes, number 8, but the most is actually number 3. Quality education. But it may differ with the cost players, such as Europe or Australia. In there, they're prioritizing on number 13, climate action. So what I need to move in this is it depends on how the environment may shape us actually. So in Indonesia, we may face that maybe the quality education must be increased. So that's why we need to concentrate on this one, right? While in Europe, out there, they concentrate really the climate action, tackling the climate crisis and so on. So for now, in financial services, what we are currently facing then is about the net zero. Now, OJK already issued one of the guidelines, especially for the banking sector, to start making risk assessment, how climate change will impact on their assets. So, climate change, they have a risk, physical and transitional risk. So, starting, and then other than that, actually IFRS already issued S1, S2, and it's all about the climate risk related. So climate change, I mean, either we like it or not, we must be faced with one. So now the companies, even in this non-financial services and public listed companies, issuers, we must do it. So the most important thing is just, I think we just need to start earlier to prepare. So everyone is home and starting from the personal level and then organization and until the corporate level. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Akmal. So take notes, everyone. You may start to prepare yourself, and for all the business sectors, you may start to like having the risk assessment metrics to anticipate the current trends within the climate action itself. Thank you so much, Mr. Akmal. Moving on to Ms. Natasha. The last question for you. Okay. In the end, Ms. Natasha, what kind of effective strategies for organization to align their business models with the SDGs itself and, the organization itself driving the sustainable innovation in the global stage?
Okay, what's the most effective strategies? Well, reflecting upon the journey experience of us at Coca-Cola President Partners in Indonesia is actually SDG 17 partnership. Why? because we need everyone to take the journey with us. Starting from the government itself, to have an enabling regulatory, for example, to have to enforce every industry to do actions on managing their waste. That's very important, because if there's no push from the regulations, then if it's only voluntary basis, then there's so much we can achieve. We also need like academia, like University of Indonesia, to help us understand or forecast what kind of innovation is coming into our way, how to use water more efficiently, for example, or how maybe to turn carbon emissions into sugar, something that CCEP in Europe is actually piloting with one of university in the United States. So that's the importance of partnership with academia or university. Same as well with local NGOs, communities. We need them to do collective actions, move together, because there's so much that a company can do, but if we don't work together with the rest of the nations, then we will not achieve what we want to achieve in the long run. I think that's really the key.
Thank you so much, Miss Natasha. So basically, we have to do like the collective efforts together, and the part of the government, also the media, the education is equally important in this part. Okay, that's it, everyone. And now we've come to the Q&A session or the discussion session. In this session, we give the participant the opportunity to ask questions directly to the speakers. So, you may start to ask questions in English, and you'll be given the e-wallet worth to 30K. Please raise your hand if you have any question, and the participant may stand and come to one of the 2 microphone areas here, introduce yourself, and ask the question. Okay, we start. Okay, maybe the first, yeah. Okay, please introduce yourself and ask the question.
Thanks for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sania. I'm from Vocational Education. Sorry, may I speak Indonesian? Because my English still not that good.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Baik, saya tertarik dengan Green Transportation yang disinggung oleh Mr. Akmal Awin. Sedikit bercerita sebelumnya, salah satu hal yang membuat saya sebagai anak daerah shock dengan keadaan di Depok ini adalah kualitas udaranya yang jauh berbeda dari daerah asal saya. Banyak mengatakan, wajarlah, Depok kan kota ya. Padahal saya yakin setiap manusia dimanapun dia berada itu berhak mendapatkan kualitas udara yang baik. Bukan begitu? Seperti yang kita tahu, kendaraan bermotor memberikan sumbangan yang besar terhadap polusi udara. Eksistensi green transportation ini menjadi salah satu jalan keluar untuk kasus polusi udara ini. Namun, infrastruktur yang belum merata dapat menjadi salah satu tantangan. Di kota, di sini maksudnya kendaraan listrik pasti mudah ditemukan. Namun di daerah, kendaraan listrik masih langka ditemukan. Pertanyaan saya adalah bagaimana langkah BF memaksimalkan green transportation ini meski dengan infrastruktur yang tidak merata? Karena saya yakin selain kota, daerah pedalaman pun perlu menerapkan green transportation ini sebelum kualitas udara yang buruk. Karena seperti yang kita tahu, lebih baik mencegah daripada mengobati. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Wow, that's a personal question.
Okay. This question has to address in the Ministry of Transportation. Anyway, thank you very much. It's a good question. So, let's start with this one. Sustainability is a journey. There's no instant process on this one. But we are currently, if you see the government, Africa, and other things, it's always solving that, okay, we need to transform the conventional cars or transportation to the area. But yeah, if you see, I mean, even in the like some the government So it's still, they're still issuing the fuel EV, right? It's still not. And now, actually, we have financing the EV since 3 years ago, yeah, for the EV car especially. But while in the motorcycle, because they're still limited, because we just, I mean, we are not producing, we are just financing. So we really rely on the production. So our share models, one of the is Yamaha. So once Yamaha launch, we might finance it with the motorcycles. But still, we still finance on the hybrid. But for the car, we've been financing since 3 years. So that's one of our initiative in terms of the green portfolio, other than MSME. Because for the micro small enterprises, we have like the 35% of our total booking portfolio. But for the EV, yeah, we understood. It is still being developed. Not really changing the behavior. So we might be, and for the transportation, public asset transportation, yeah, this is a homework for us especially. So personally, I also changed my behavior from the driving car going to the headquarters and then change to the public transportation by train. I think that's one of the our real action. At least we can reduce our emission, right? Personal emission, because it must be included in the scope 3 regarding the commuting people, especially the employee. So, but the vision to make from the fuel transportation and to EV, yeah, it must be there, and they will change. But it is still being developed. So, starting from what we can really maintain in ourselves. So, I mean, transferring into from the private transportation into the public transportation is one of the real action that we need to take for the climate change.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Amal. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you so much, Lisa. Moving on to the second people. Okay. Okay, just state your name and your answer. Thank you.
Well, I thank you for this opportunity. My name is Calvin. I'm from my university. My question is, in the spirit of together toward tomorrow, how can we foster the collaboration between governments, businesses, and local communities, accelerate progress toward the sustainable development goals, ensuring a more inclusive and sustainable future for all? And in what ways do you think improving access to quality education can help break the cycle of poverty and inequality in these undeserved communities?
Thank you so much. Sorry, who's the person you're referring to? Sansa? Oh, okay. All of the speakers. Okay. So starting with this.
Sure, thank you. Very good questions. And this is actually what we've been advocating and championing at CCP Indonesia. So let me take one example. So I mentioned before we work to develop lots of UMKM or micro, small, medium enterprises. Why? Because we know they are the backbone of Indonesian economy. And how do we do that? We actually partner with an association. Business employers, Indonesia Employers Associations. So we work together, starting from developing a module, a curriculum, like how to develop their skills in financial management, product marketing, as well as in sustainability, actually. Until delivering the training and mentorship. So it's like around 3-4 months. We provide trainings, mentorships to these micro, small, medium enterprises across Java and Sumatra. We actually measure the impacts. So we know, for example, before these 3-4 months mentorships, whether or not they have the understanding about financial management or about business acumen versus after the 3-4 months, we hope to see improvements there. And there, We also work, of course, with the MSMEs, but also we tap into the local universities and also select several university students so they can actually do apprenticeships there. Because we also see there is a gap in terms of having access for on-the-job training for university students. And actually, working at SMSEs provide practical experience that might not be available if that kind of apprenticeships is done at like big corporations. Plus the period is longer because it's like 3 to 4 months versus 1 or 2 months for like on-the-job training at corporations. So that's how we also work with academia, so not only with associations. Another example is also still within the sphere of entrepreneurial, but we also work with waste banks, and here we partner with the local NGOs. For example, in Metro Lampung, we work with the NGOs called Sahabat Gajah, because they are NGOs who is actively working in waste management and education. So we partner with them. They become our partner in doing campaigns so that the community is aware that, oh, actually organic waste, like food waste, can actually be turned into compost. And they can actually use it for their gardens. And at the larger scale, we actually also work with the local government. We managed to get a commitment letter from the mayor of Metro Lampung City. He committed to push local regulations that require waste collections at this Metro Lampung City, because without any umbrella at the regulatory level, then it's harder to push this kind of behavior change despite providing any type of facilities like waste bank or any type of education. So that's few examples of how CCEP work with different stakeholders towards sustainable development. And I'm sure you can tell which SDG goals each of these two programs contribute to, because it's more than 3 portions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Natasha, for this
Just so yeah, I mean collaboration and solid collaboration is a massive move to the SDGs. Above, actually, yeah, other than SMA, especially from the social side. So, yeah, we conduct, as I mentioned earlier, hiring for children. So, we collaborate with some communities, especially in the rural areas, to foster the children. At least they are, I mean, they have dreams to achieve, at least to continue at the school and as well with the university students. And other than that, issue from the environmental side, so we engage with the 100 here in the yeah. So we planting mangrove and more than actually it's been 3 years. So we have more than 130 trees that are planted, and now we're trying to calculate the emission. I mean the CO2 absorption of the plant. So yeah, collaboration is always being agreed to pursue the sustainability target, especially because we cannot work by ourselves, so within our partners especially. And then from the regulator side, from the OJK, because we are the financing company, so under the general regulations, and they're fostering to pursue the collaboration. It's not only about the private sector or the financial services, but also on the other ones. So we conduct one of the activity that we, especially on education side, is the PEKA. So like the program edukasi keuangan rendah. Because we are financial services, so financial literacy and financial inclusion, that we need to achieve at least 95%, right? And we still not at 60%. So that's our goal. Because we need to achieve, like, yeah, as our president also mentioned, like Indonesia Emas, but starting from the financial literacy. Because when we conduct financial literacy, we are targeting the rural areas, like the farmer, disability, people with disability, and then the women community. So we're not only targeting about the students. The college students are already, maybe they are more than already know, equipped with some experience. in some financial planning, but for those like the people with disability and then the farmer and then the community. So that's why every year we conduct like the 7 cities and rural areas to conduct the financial literacy.
Nice. Thank you so much, Mr. Akmal. So moving on with our speaker right there, Miss Jasenia. Are you still here with us?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes. Okay.
Yeah. Can you share like what your actual impact and what kind of action that you collaborate with external parties related to SDGs?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Okay, so can you share with us like what kind of your action to collaborate with external parties related to SDGs?
Yes, actually, about the question, I think that the micro enterprises play a crucial role in promoting climate resilience by adopting local and innovative solutions and sustainable businesses models that reduce emissions. For example, I would like to add some examples. For example, in Ecuador, there are some banks that give you like seeds funds in order to promote initiatives that meet certain sustainability parameters, which are more focused in agricultural sector. So in that way, they are trying to promote projects which protects and promotes sustainable agricultural sector, and that's really important also for our economy development. And also I would like to add about the public awareness and education, which are really vital in order to mobilize the communities for climate action, in which it's not only education but also the leadership is a key factor in order that plays a decisive role in building a collective purpose and also guiding organizations in the direction of sustainability, which is seen, for example, in Ecuador, there are so many public-private partnerships between stakeholders and also NGOs focusing conservation programs, so that's really important, I would say.
Great, thank you so much, Ms. Jasenia. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, moving on to the last person. Yes? Yes, please. Man with direction.
Okay, thank you everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Sikadam Hase. I'm a blind person. I'm totally blind. I'm a person with disabilities. I'm from a civil organization called Indonesia Disability Center, Pusat Disabilitas Indonesia. Our organization works to promote and to advocate the equal right for disabled community in Indonesia, especially we work to no discrimination in education, employment, and accessibilities. I have 2 questions, especially to Mr. Akmal, and then I'm sorry I have to do my question in Bahasa to more clear, right? Okay, Mr. Akmal, you know what? In Indonesia, there are about 22 million people with disabilities, and based on one of the UN bodies report, that's most of people with disabilities in Indonesia mendapatkan diskriminasi. Hanya 0,5% dari 22 juta penyandang disabilitas di Indonesia itu yang terserap dunia kerja. Padahal kita tahu bersama bahwa SDGs di launching dan sudah mencapai usia 10 tahun. Tapi target inclusiveness untuk disability, inclusiveness di dunia kerja itu belum tercapai. Faktanya perusahaan private sector itu masih melupakan penyandang disabilitas dalam empowermentnya mereka. Apapun program empowerment mereka, sepertinya tidak ada kehadiran teman-teman angkatan kerja dengan disabilitas di sana. Kemudian teman-teman disabilitas selalu terlupakan kalau ada pelatihan-pelatihan kerja. Dan lebih parahnya lagi, penyerapan tenaga kerja dengan disabilitas mayoritas di perusahaan swasta itu sangat kurang sekali. Padahal tadi kan SDGs sudah berusia 10 tahun. Bahkan pemerintah juga sudah meluncurkan Undang-Undang Nomor 8 Tahun 2016 tentang disabilitas. Jelas di situ dibilang bahwa perusahaan swasta itu wajib meng-hire people with disability, memberikan mereka empowerment, memberikan mereka training. Tapi faktanya sampai sekarang masih implementasinya masih kurang sekali. Pertanyaan saya adalah bagaimana Anda melihat ini? Bagaimana Anda melihat ini? Dan apakah Anda punya data tentang ini? Dan menurut Anda, kenapa sih itu private sector masih enggan mengajak teman-teman disabilitas dalam semua aktivitas mereka, baik dalam perekrutan, hiring, pelatihan, dan empowerment? Kenapa perusahaan swasta di Indonesia masih enggan melibatkan teman-teman disabilitas dalam aktivitas perusahaan mereka? Dan menurut Anda, apa sih strategi yang harus komunitas disabilitas lakukan sehingga tercipta inklusivitas dalam dunia kerja khususnya di perusahaannya? Menurut Anda, apa yang harus teman-teman disabilitas, strategi apa yang mereka harus lakukan? Karena jujur sebagai disabilitas kita sudah lelah ya. Sampai detik ini kejadian itu terus berlanjut dan istilahnya itu perusahaan itu pada sudah jelas ya. Ada reward and punishment-nya. Saya nggak tahu di SDGs apakah ada reward and punishment bagi company yang tidak mengimplementasikan SDGs itu dengan baik terhadap disabilitasnya. Menurut Anda, apa strategi yang harus teman-teman disabilitas lakukan? Itu that's my question, my first question. My second question is about Anda tadi bercerita tentang KPI Anda ya. Sebenarnya, apakah dalam KPI perusahaan Anda ada targeted untuk disability? Kalau ada, real action-nya apa? Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Mas Adam. Wow, that's a tough and challenging question, but let me answer. Baik, saya coba pakai bahasa ya. Jadi memang one of the biggest challenges in the private sector actually is raising awareness on SDGs. Hands. Ya, itu masih jadi challenge. Kenapa saya katakan demikian? Karena masih banyak. Nah, even di kita, ya, di companies itu, they don't actually really realize the SDGs. They don't even look at like, oh SDG 1 poverty, quality education, that's it. They're not looking into down like the indicator. Indikatornya sebenarnya yang diukur apa sih ke dalam? Gitu. Jadi memang saat ini saya juga di luar, jadi saya selain di BAF itu juga saya di SDGs untuk kemudian di Asosiasi Pusat Pembiayaan, dan memang kita dalam beberapa bulan terakhir itu mencoba melokalize SDGs itu ke guru-guru juga, and including, dan saat ini kita coba mau pushing ke private sector. Untuk apa? Tujuannya mereka mesti paham dulu. Gitu. Kita nggak hanya kemudian ngomongin bahwa ini SDG nomor berapa dan sebagainya, tapi the role is indicator. Nah, tadi mengenai people with disability, tapi sebelumnya saya ini luar biasa. I'm really happy dengan SDG Summit ini ada peserta juga dari Dami. Nah, di kami sendiri sebenarnya kalau di BAF itu memang kita ada. Jadi kita welcome, memang ada people with disability di kantor pusat. Itu ada. Jadi memang itu saya sudah ngomong di HR langsung juga, memang kita selalu ada kuota untuk people with disability. Tetapi bagaimana dengan perusahaan lain? Nah, ini juga memang jadi challenge sendiri, gitu ya. Karena kalau dari sisi, tolong koreksi kalau saya keliru, setahu memang ada berapa persen itu, 1% atau berapa gitu. Tapi memang pelaksanaannya memang masih challenging tersendiri gitu. Karena beberapa hal, satu, nature bisnisnya mungkin beda-beda. Ya, nature bisnis yang pada akhirnya ketika berbicara people with disability itu mungkin baiknya gimana ya? Mereka perlu looking at seperti apa secara ini yang bisa untuk kemudian koheren dengan disability seperti apa dan lain-lain. Tapi makin kesini kalau saya lihat dari sisi pengungkapan mereka dari disclosure, sustainability report itu sudah mulai banyak addressing. Mereka sudah banyak addressing untuk salah satu banks, let's say like bank basic up
gitu. Itu malah mereka memang sudah ini untuk terutama di frontliner, ya terkait dengan di call center ya mereka sebutnya itu mereka train. Gitu. Nah, kalau di bank selain memang kita memang ada data itu kita mencoba untuk karena dari sisi aturan di sisi OJK itu di POJK tentang perlindungan konsumen itu sudah dimention mengenai people with disability. Bagaimana kemudian product and services itu paling tidak juga bisa dijangkau oleh mereka. Jadi OJK itu dari 1-2 tahun terakhir itu memang sudah mulai launching. Ketika misalnya contoh ada di kantor gitu ya, ada kemudian orang lansia dan kemudian disability itu paling tidak itu sudah ada SOP-nya, how the way we treat those people, gitu. Dan itu mesti dan itu wajib. Gitu. Jadi addressing di sana memang sudah semakin tinggi gitu. Tetapi kemudian berkelipikan karena memang ya tadi banyak faktor juga yang memang jadi mungkin jadi challenge tersendiri. Ya. Tapi yang saya boleh bisa mention adalah di financial services itu sudah clear secara aturan. Jadi makanya kenapa kemudian salah satu action yang kita taken adalah satu financial literacy tadi kita tiap tahun setiap di 3 Desember kita engaging dengan teman-teman difabel dan tahun lalu itu kita di Bogor. Jadi dan rata-rata mereka banyak yang berwirausaha. Jadi kita ini kumpulin bekerja sama dengan Pemda setempat untuk ngasih dan memang kita hopingnya adalah not only at once ya, tetapi bagaimana kemudian kita bisa mencoba untuk continuity-nya seperti apa. Saat ini memang kita sedang bagaimana measurement-nya seperti apa gitu, untuk yang mereka ini. Makanya saya sangat welcome ketika nanti kita memang rencana Desember akan coba mencari partner juga terkait dengan komunitas difabel. Saya mungkin bisa nanti berbicara lebih lanjut terkait the way we approaching ya untuk hal tersebut gitu. Karena memang itu juga jadi concern kita gitu ya. Karena ya tadi inclusivity ya, gitu. Keterjangkauannya seperti apa gitu. Jadi itu yang dari. Kemudian di sisi lain adalah dari sisi untuk product and services memang masih jadi challenge. Kenapa? Karena berbagai memang kebutuhan ini yang karena tidak bisa fit at all dalam one size itu nggak bisa. Jadi memang ada beberapa hal dan itu saya pikir ini akan terus berkembang dan ketika melihat dari data-data teman-teman tentunya di financial services itu mereka sudah semakin concern untuk melakukan untuk meng-hire dari sisi people with disability. Jadi memang perlu terima kasih sudah menyampaikan ini dan ini tentunya menjadi menjadi hal yang memang perlu juga menjadi concern di sisi kita. Makanya kalau di salah satu KPI, kalau hanya mengenai KPI, kita salah satu yang kemudian kita susun adalah mengenai human rights. Ya, terkait dengan human rights. Jadi starting dari kemudian the way kita kemudian merekrut, kemudian dari sisi procurement dan sebagainya. Tapi again saya selalu ulang, sustainability is journey ini memang nggak bisa kemudian langsung perusahaan harus mengalir enggak. Memang butuh, makanya kenapa kita hadir lebih awal untuk literasinya dulu. So we build skill dulu at the first time. Karena paling tidak dia ready, gitu. Karena yang kita bisa memastikan juga adalah jangan sampai nanti teman-teman ketika masuk ke dalam ini mereka tak kemudian feeling different. Ya. Tetapi at least jadi bagian. Mungkin itu yang bisa saya sampaikan. Sebelumnya thank you banget sudah sharing. Semoga kita nanti bisa banyak diskusi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akmal, for the answer. So basically, it's a complex situation, right? But the opportunity is there. So for Sigda, does that answer your question? Okay. Thank you so much, Sigda, for the question. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we have finally arrived to the end of our Q&A session due to the duration. Once again, thank you so much for all the wonderful speakers. Like the first one is Mr. Akmal Agriman and Miss Natasha Gabriela, also Miss Jesania Real Chico, for the informative and insightful discussion. Also to all of the participants for their active participation in this seminar session. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to the end of this seminar. Before I close this session, please allow me to take some highlighted points from today's session. Regarding to what Mr. Akmal said before, sustainability truly begins with us, starting with our actions, enhanced by collaboration. To the private sector, like PT Perusahaan Auto Finance, also with Coca-Cola itself, the value is beyond the profit, and the strong governance is very crucial in overseeing sustainability performance itself. Other than that, Ms. Natasha also stated that people in the industry can be the backbone of the sustainability itself. So building the green jobs is very important right now. And even more, from Ms. Desenia, we know that the thing that we are working on right now should be perceiving the environmental things to tackle the climate action. And remember that uneven implementation of SDGs knows no boundary, and you have your own part in the succession. Thank you so much. I'm Salma Fikria signing off. Over to you, Anit and Gani.
Thank you to all of the speakers for a very insightful discussion, and also Ms. Salma for moderating this session. Now, to all of the speakers, please stand up and come forward to the center of the stage.
First, we'd like to give the placard to Mr. Akmal Abudiman. You may step forward, sir, and Mr. Reza Shabana Santoso, as the project officer, will present the placard.
Second, to Ms. Natasha Gabriela, Mr. Reza Shabana Santoso Putra will give the placard for you as a symbol of our appreciation. Thank you. Lastly, to Ms. Desenia Realchico, you may turn on your camera as we will present the certificate on the screen and conduct the documentation with Mr. Muhammad Rizky Naufal in the screen as our coordinator of events of UI SDGs Summit 2024. Now, for the moderator, Ms. Salma, please stay on the stage for a while as we would like to give certificate as an appreciation for you and the documentation. To Mr. Reza Shabana Santoso, as the project officer of UI SDGs Summit 2024, please come to the stage to give the certificate to Ms. Salma and conduct a documentation.
Moving on, to all the speakers and Ms. Salma, please stay on the stage as we would like to take a documentation session. Please, for the speakers, come to the stage. To Mr. Akmal Abudiman and Ms. Natasha Gabriela, as well as Ms. Salma and Mr. Reza Shabana Santoso, please come to the center of the stage for another documentation session. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to our brilliant speakers. Once again, thank you for your very insightful talkship.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to kindly remind to fill out the post-test through the barcode on the screen. Participants have to show the proof of completing the pre-test and post-test before getting the in-kind from the committee.
To all participants, we would like to remind you again to please fill out the post-test link as you will need it to receive in-kind and goodies at the end of the show. For now, we will give you a moment to fill out the link. Okay, after hearing all the seminars, we would like to continue to the next agenda. But before that, we would like to say thank you to all sponsors and media partners who have supported us. This event is sponsored by
Bank Rakyat Indonesia,
Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners,
Himalaya Wellness,
Harita Nickel, and supported by media partners,
Innover UI.
DPR Next Applicant Universitas Indonesia.
Thank you for all sponsors and media partners who have supported us in making this event possible.
We hope to see your enthusiastic participation in this grand opening.
You know, sustainability isn't just nice to have anymore, it's a must. And Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners is stepping up with their This Is Forward action plan.
Tackling big issues like climate action, sustainable packaging, and community well-being, they're driving meaningful change across 31 countries, including Europe, Australia, the Pacific, and Indonesia. From cutting emissions to improving water management, CCEP is making sure their business does more than just sell great beverages. They're creating lasting value for people and the planet.
So next time you grab Coca-Cola, you'll know you're supporting a company that's serious about making a difference, not just for today, but for tomorrow as well.
You know, in our busy lives, it's easy to forget the importance of taking care of ourselves, both inside and out. That's where Himalaya Wellness comes in.
For over 90 years, Himalaya has been blending the wisdom of Ayurveda with modern science to create products that help us live healthier, happier life.
Whether it's the refreshing neem face wash, soothing ashwagandha supplements, or their gentle baby care range, there's something for everyone.
So, if you're looking to bring balance back into your life naturally, remember, Himalaya has your back.
For all participants, please fill out the link or scan the barcode on the screen as you will get a voucher from Himalaya Wellness. all participants, we would like to remind you again to scan the barcode on the screen as you will receive a voucher from Himalaya Wellness. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue the grand opening of UI SDGs Summit 2024 with more exciting activities, which is our game session.
For this game, we'll need 5 volunteers. The reward for this game is a prize pool of up to 100,000 rupiah.
For 5 volunteers, you may directly come to the stage and participate in this game session. Don't be shy. We are very much inviting and welcoming all of you guys to come to the stage and participate in this game session, as you guys will also have the opportunity to receive a pool prize of 100,000 rupiah. For those of you who are interested, you can directly come to the stage right now. Okay, for all the participants who want to participate in this game, please come to the stage right now. Okay, we have 3 participants, so we might need 2 more participants for this game session. Okay, now we need 1 more participant for this game session. For those of you who are interested in playing this game, please directly come to the stage right now. Okay, we have 1 more slot for the participants, and it looks like we have 5 volunteers already in front of the stage. Okay, before proceeding to the game session, we would like to ask the 5 volunteers to introduce themselves. You can introduce by mentioning your name, faculty, and batch. I'll give the mic to the person furthest on the left.
My name is Lilo from Electrical Engineering.
Hello everyone, introduce my name is Tri Regina Luin. I'm from vocational program. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Cindy Caroline and I am from Economic and Business Faculty.
Hello, dear audience. Good afternoon. Introduce me. My name is Asrul Hidayah from History Science major, Faculty of Humanities, University of Indonesia. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Regina Agustin from Faculty of Humanity, Universitas Indonesia.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing yourselves. Now, let us move on to the game's rules and mechanisms.
Participants may open their Instagram application and prepare a white blank in story feature to write their answers.
Each participant will be given 10 seconds to write the answers. When the host says, "Raise the answer now," all participants are not allowed to change the answer that has been written on the answer board, and you must raise your phone in front of your forehead.
Participants who has the most amount of correct answers will win the game.
Be prepared, as there will be 10 questions displayed on the screen.
Without further ado, let's start.
Okay, so to all participants, are you guys ready? Yes? Okay, so let us move on to the first question. How many goals are there in the SDGs? You can write it on your phone. And we'll have a countdown of 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so
okay, raise your answer in front of your forehead. Wow, okay, so it seems like everyone got the right answer. Okay, good job. So maybe we can move on to the next question.
What year are the SDGs targeted to be achieved by?
I'll start the countdown right now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your answer now. And the answer reveal is 2030. Okay. So it seems like some of you got it incorrect, but we still have a lot of questions left. So let's move on to the next question.
What is the first goal of the SDGs?
I'll start the countdown now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and the answer is no poverty.
Okay, so for all participants, we would like for you to present your answer in front of your forehead so the judge of the game can conduct the assessment. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is the grand theme of UI SDGs Summit 2024?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is bridging the implementation gap, ensuring no one left behind in achieving the SDGs.
Okay, you can raise your answer now to the judge over there. It's okay if you guys... Yeah, we have no problems. Okay. Maybe you can prepare the answer board first for the next question. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Under which department does UI SDG Summit belongs to on BEM UI?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so the answer is Departemen Lingkungan Hidup.
Okay, so apparently it's quite a tricky question, right, Gani? And it seems like no one got it correct, but it's still fine because we still have a lot of questions left. So let's move on to the next question. BLE is a short for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your answer now. Okay, so it seems like everybody got the answer correct because BRI is short for Bank Rakyat Indonesia.
Moving on to the next question. How long has Coca-Cola been in Indonesia?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your answer now in front of your forehead. Okay. Okay, so without further ado, let's just reveal the answer, which is 95 years. Okay, it seems like only one person got it correct, yes? Let's move on to the next question.
Name 3 brands from 3 different categories made by Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners Indonesia.
So there are 3 categories, which is A, sparkling, B, juice or dairy or tea, and C, hydration. In each category, you guys must give one example of a brand name from those categories. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, raise your answer now. Wow, okay. Very different answers, yes. But let's reveal the answers first.
For the sparkling categories, we have Coca-Cola or Fanta or Sprite. And for juice or dairy or tea, we have Minute Maid, Nutriboost or Fresh Tea. And for hydration categories, we have Ades or Awe.
Okay, so I think it's a very complicated question because a lot of the participants could not answer all of the 3 categories correctly, but it's still fine because we still have the next question, which is...
True or false? Himalaya Wellness only sells beauty products.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, raise your answer now.
And the answer is... false. They also sell pharmaceuticals.
Wow, okay, so only one person got it right. But no worries, because we still have the last question to redeem your points. Next question. What are the main ingredients used in Himalaya skincare products?
Begin countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, so please raise your answer now for us to see your answers. Okay, please raise your answers. Okay, so let's see if your answers are correct or not. As we will reveal the answer, which is Himalaya skincare products often feature natural ingredients such as neem, turmeric, aloe vera, and sandalwood. Okay, so that unfortunately wraps up our game session. And so let's see from the judge who is the winner of this game session.
Okay, now let's reveal the winner of this game. The winner of this game session is Azriel. Let's give her a round of applause.
So for Asia, one of the committees will contact you to give your prize. And congratulations once again. For all of the 5 participants, thank you so much for your participation in this game session. And we hope that this mini quiz can refresh your brain and entertain your day. You may return to your seats. And for everyone, please give another round of applause for our participants. Before moving on to the next agenda, we would like to say thank you to all sponsors and media partners who have supported us. This event is sponsored by
Bank Rakyat Indonesia,
Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners,
Himalaya Wellness,
Harita Nickel, and supported by media partners,
Innover UI.
and Max Applicant Universitas Indonesia.
Thank you for all sponsors and media partners who have supported us in making this event possible. You know, with everything going on in the world, sustainability can feel just like a buzzword, right?
Yeah, I do agree with you. But Harita Nickel is proving their commitment. They're not just mining for nickel, but they're mining for a better future.
That's right. With a mission to achieve sustainable excellence through continuous human and process improvement, Harita Nickel is all about balancing progress with responsibility.
So, if you're wondering who's really taking action to protect the planet while powering the future, Harita Nickel is your answer.
Now, talking about how sustainability is in our life, Bank Rakyat Indonesia certainly has that in common.
You're right. If you haven't experienced BRI Mobile yet, you're missing out. Brimo is BRI's revolutionary mobile app that's transforming the way we bank.
Whether you're managing your account, making payments, or exploring financial service, Brimo is designed to make your life easier.
So, why wait? Embrace the future of banking with Brimo and experience the convenience that BRI brings right to your pocket. Now, we would like to give the floor to Shania and Nadia from the competition division, where they will inform about UI SDGs Summit 2024's essay competition.
To Shania and Nadia, the stage is yours.
Hello, change makers. Good afternoon. I'm Nadia as manager of competition.
And I'm Sania as Vice Manager of Competition.
In this opportunity, we will inform you about UI SDG Summit Essay Competition 2024. Next. Okay. Essay competition is one of the series of UI SDG Summit 2024. The implementation of this series also based on the SDGs pillar, the human development pillar, the economic growth pillar, and the environmental action pillar. Next. Our sub-theme for human development pillar is breaking the change of poverty. And for environmental action is toward net zero emission, and for economic growth is empowering the workforce.
These are our competition overview. Right now, we are in the last phase of registration until tomorrow, or 27 September 2024. And we will continue with workshop, essay judging, final presentation, and the last is conference. Next. By participating in this essay competition, you have the opportunity to get the total prize up to 90 million or 1,100 US dollar and many other kinds. So, what are you waiting for? Don't miss the chance and come participate in
USD Summit
Essay Competition 2024.
Thank you, Shania and Nadia. We hope that all of you are interested to register on our SI competition.
For the next agenda, we will have a documentation session. For our guests and audiences, please stand up and let's be prepared to take documentation session. So everyone, you can sign up for the documentation session. For all the participants, you may get closer to the center for this documentation session.
Okay, the photo will be taken in the post like this.
Everyone can make the post slide on the screen.
Yes. The photo will be taken in 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. For the last. Free pose. Three, 2, 1.
Okay, so that wraps up the documentation session. Thank you for everyone. Wow, it's really nice to see all the happy faces today, right, Gary?
Exactly, Annie. Besides that, I'm pleased to see a lot of people here represent concern regarding SDGs issues. I do really hope that this summit raise our awareness to help the acceleration of sustainable development goals by 2030. And how can we, as youth, will take a part in these issues?
Yeah, but unfortunately, the documentation wraps up the grand opening of UI SDG Summit 2024. Therefore, we need the audience to scan this barcode to fill in the last attendance and quality control form. For the barcode of attendance can be shown on the screen. For all participants, please do not forget to fill in the barcode of attendance to maintain that your attendance can be checked by the committees. Okay, so it seems like there's a bit of technical problem, but our committees will follow up regarding the attendance barcode on the group for communication.
I would like to thank the audience for staying with us till the end.
I'm Anit.
And I'm Gani.
Signing off from UI SDG Summit 2024. No one left behind.
See you and have a nice day. Ladies and gentlemen, before you leave this room, please make sure that you bring all of your trash and throw it in the trash can. After that, you may leave the room following the instruction for the committee who is standing in front of your room. Don't forget to take the goodies provided in the registration table outside the auditorium.
Hadirin sekalian, sebelum Anda meninggalkan ruangan ini, pastikan Anda membawa semua sampah Anda dan membuangnya ke tempat sampah. Setelah itu, Anda boleh meninggalkan ruangan dengan mengikuti instruksi dari field manager kami. Mohon berbaris dengan rapi saat keluar dan ambil goodie bag yang disediakan di luar auditorium.
I'm disappearing from this world. kita dilihat di Zoom ini.